NFL on EA Sports as you take a look there at Lincoln Financial Field in Philadelphia, PA. Today, rivals square off in the NFC East, and we've got a great matchup between the Dallas Cowboys and the Philadelphia Eagles. And they will elect to not bring this one out as our first drive will begin at the 25. So now here comes the Eagles offense as they get ready to take over. They'll be led by Teddy Bridgewater in his 8th season now in the NFL.
You know what I did in pregame? I made sure I touched him as he went by. I want a little bit of what he's got.
The golden arm from last week.
Oh, how much fun was that to watch that game tape, all right? The number of touchdowns, what was that, 5 last week?
Yeah.
But 0 interceptions. So you think he's due to throw a pick? But I'm betting that he continues the streak in this game.
They'll run for the first time with Antonio Gibson. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. Second down. 3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. Shotgun handoff to Gibson. Just a couple on the ground there. That's going to bring up 3rd and about 6. This defense for the Cowboys, they were excellent a week ago in the victory over Arizona.
And with the playoffs ahead, this is how you build momentum because they pitched a shutout last week, and I don't care who you're playing. That's not easy to do at this level, and they're playing their best football at the right time of the year.
So the defense able to get off the field here on 3rd down.
And it's one of the goals of the game. They've got to be effective on passing downs. It's one of the few things defenses chart. How did we do on 3rd down? That's a nice start for them in this one.
51 yards on the punt there. And the Cowboys will take over the football with a 1st and 10. So out comes this offense to take over for the first time. They're led out by a man who got his first NFL start on Thanksgiving Day of 2019 from Purdue. It's David Blau. As they will look to throw on 1st down, eluding the pressure right. It's complete here to T.Y. Hilton. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44.
Well, that was a fun one to watch right there. A nice in-breaking route and plenty of room in the middle of the field. And he was able to get behind the linebackers and grab the completion for a really good pickup.
Flush to his right. Going up top for Kupp. And that is caught at the 10-yard line. And he almost made it, but just short. Finally out of bounds, right down around the goal line.
In our pregame meeting, all they talked about was keeping him hemmed in and wanting him to make his throws from the pocket because they knew he was pretty dangerous if he got outside, and he just showed it right there. Pretty good arm, too.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he will take it in for a Cowboy score. Punching it in from a yard away. And the Cowboys have taken the early lead. So it was the passing game that got him down here, but closer to the goal line, it's the running game that gets him home.
Certainly appears that they lulled the defense into thinking that the passing game was going to be it the entire drive. Nice change up there going to the running game to get them over the goal line.
Gano the extra point, and it's now a 7-0 game. Gano now following the touchdown here to kick it away. And he'll decide to not bring this one out as their drive will begin at the 25. So back onto the field here come the Eagles for their 2nd drive. The partner just looking at some of the struggles they've had this season. The playoffs are not in their future. As they start to peer toward the offseason, what moves might they make?
I think the running back position, and I know we talk all the time about the NFL being a passing league, but the teams that run the ball effectively, they're the ones that go deep into the playoffs and go to the Super Bowl. They have to upgrade here. And you and I both know in recent years in the draft, people have shied away from taking a runner early, but there's that special one there. I say they go get him.
On 3rd down, Bridgewater. Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Robert Alford. So a first interception thrown for him there, and that really not the best decision either.
Not at all, and that's something he did not do in their victory last week. No interceptions in that game, but this defense, they're able to take advantage of an early mistake. Now let's see if they're going to turn it into points.
First and 10 now. Here's Blau, escaping the pressure right. Oh, this one incomplete. The pressure got to him as he released it. And it's second down. Second and 10. A very chilly day here, but no snow. And I got to say, if it's going to be this cold, I want snow. You should see Charles' face. He's looking at me like I'm crazy. Blau setting up to throw. Open man is Trey Burton. 5 yards. Now it's 3rd and 5. Not a big window to throw. Coverage wasn't too bad there.
Yeah, they had him under wraps pretty well, but somehow able to muscle his way open and catch the ball.
Throwing is Blau. They'll roll him out right. And eventually taken down here. Great coverage downfield. It'll be a loss of 8 on the sack, and it's going to lead him to 4th down.
Well, it's about how teams are so competitively matched, and you just want to make those plays that give you an advantage. How about right here? The difference between letting them score a touchdown versus holding them to a field goal, that's absolutely huge with the play he just made.
And you know he hated taking the loss there on 3rd down. Here's a diving catch right side. That's what we're used to seeing from him right there. Plays like that, why he's number 4 in the league in terms of receiving yardage.
Able to make adjustments all along the way. Doesn't matter where he lines up, where he releases from. Working his way into the secondary, figures out defense.
And he is into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. A great effort there with his 2nd touchdown in this opening quarter. And the Cowboys have taken a 13-0 first quarter lead. Extra point try good by Gano. And that'll make the score 14-0. The drive summary that time, 5 plays. And in the end, it's capped off by a 7-yard run. Gano now following the touchdown here to kick it away. And this will be a touchback, so they'll bring it out to the 25. Philadelphia's offense ready to give us another look. And they're in an early hole. The first drive, they threw the interception. That led to a touchdown, so decent-sized deficit early on.
It is, but I think you hit the key words, early on. So they have to decide, do we even need to change game plan? Or do we just need to execute better and try and get back in this game?
Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11. They go play action. And he will go down. A Cowboy sack. Devin Bush coming in hard there on the blitz, and he gets him 7 yards behind the line of scrimmage. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Now he's hit, and Bridgewater loses the football. And this is going to be brought back for a fumble return touchdown by the Cowboys. So the big fella gets on the scoreboard with a return for a touchdown. Good thing he didn't have to go too far, though.
You know the trainers were very happy about that. Imagine having to go get him in the end zone, escort him to the bench, and give him the oxygen. They were loving the fact that he got in without having to run very far.
Gano the extra point, and it's now 21-0. So how about this for a start? 21-0 here in the first as they kick this one away. From a couple yards deep, he'll bring it out of the end zone. And ultimately, he stopped right where he would have been if he had simply gone down to a knee at the 25. Already at the line, this Philly offense set to go.
And in just about every game we see, partner, what do we do when we look at the stat sheet?
Under pressure, and he'll go down. They'll sack him on what ought to be the final play of this first quarter. 21-0 our score after 1. To try again after the sack. Under pressure, and they got to him again. It'll go as a loss of about 6, and now it brings up third. Bridgewater. And this is going to be incomplete. Problems on third down so far in this first half. Relatively small sample size, but they're now 0 for 3.
And the average in the league, somewhere around 40% on third down for offenses. So what's the answer to this? Either convert them or don't get to third down in the first place. Get your big chunks of yards on first and second down.
This is taken at the 18. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. And they, if you just look at this game, Charles, on paper, they've got the edge, no doubt. They're hanging around the top of the NFC. On the other side, you got a squad that's towards the bottom of the NFC. But when we mention that to the... And this is caught inside the 5. And finally out of bounds all the way down at about the 2. A big play here for Dallas.
We see this happen so often. If you're a defender, it's like watching a bad movie over and over. The pressure's good, forcing the quarterback out of the pocket. But it's a lot.
And he'll take it into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. A great play there. On his way to a monster game. 3 first-half touchdowns. And the Cowboys continue to pull away here in this first half. Extra point try good by Gano. And that makes the score 28-0. Well, it wasn't a one-play drive, but I think they'll take it. The scoring summary, 2 plays and into the end zone. Gano now following the touchdown here to kick it away. From the 6. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28. Philadelphia getting set to take the field. Not only are they in search of their first score, they're in search of their first down in this ball game as they come up 1st and 10. They'll start on the ground with Gibson. And not much, maybe a yard up to the 29. So, Charles, we have reached the end here of a long season, Week 18, which we don't say very often, although this is not the first Week 18 that the NFL has ever seen.
Not at all, and Brandon, some of the people might be a little bit too young to remember, but back in 1993, the league experimented with giving teams 2 open weeks for the year, and we also saw Week 18 when the league was on pause for a few weeks in 2001 following the attacks on September 11th.
Throwing, Bridgewater. And the Cowboys' pressure gets there this time for the sack. Devin Bush picks up his 2nd sack of the afternoon. Here's Michael Pilardi now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it. And he can't field it cleanly. It's loose. But fortunately, he's able to recover his own fumble, or that could have been trouble. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
And he's left with no option here but to throw it away. An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Blau. He'll buy some time right. Going up top for Kupp. And guy's man, complete, 20. And finally out of bounds all the way down at about the 2. A big play there on the catch and run.
I can still hear it reverberate through this thick skull of mine. Crossing routes versus man-to-man coverage, it's a bad matchup for the defense. Those tend to work very well as they run away from a defender.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he is into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. A great effort there. On his way to a historic performance, 4 first-half touchdowns. And the Cowboys open the lead up to 34-0. Gano now to add the extra point. And he's been a busy man, 5 for 5 now as he knocks another one through to extend the lead. The drive there only spanning 3 plays. And it's culminated by a 2-yard touchdown run. Gano now following the touchdown here to kick it away. From the 6. And he won't quite make it to the 25. Tyreek Hill making his way back out towards the huddle. A chance maybe here for them to get him more involved. They're down here on the scoreboard, and he's been very quiet.
And the silence has been deafening for his team. They don't need that at all. They need fireworks. They need explosive plays. They need him touching the football in any way possible. Maybe go to some jet sweeps. Anything to get him going.
Yeah, something to get him the ball. We'll see if they can do it. Throwing over the middle, and it's incomplete. So after the second down incompletion, they'll come up now against a 3rd and 6. From the gun, Bridgewater. In trouble, and he's taken down. Devin Bush able to disrupt yet another pass play. That is his 3rd sack of the afternoon. Here's Michael Pilardi now. He's been one of their few bright spots so far. And he gets this away, and look at this. This is a good one. And he can't field it cleanly. It's loose. But fortunately, he's able to recover his own fumble, or that could have been trouble.
I know there's no magnet in the ball, but sometimes for the punt returner, after such a scramble, it sort of feels that way, doesn't it? He has it. He loses it. Somehow the ball finds its way back to him.
Atone for his sin, and you know he's taking a deep sigh of relief right now. Flushed out right. Going up top for Kupp. And that's caught inside the 35. And finally out of bounds, just a few yards short of the goal line at the 3. A big play there just before halftime. Pretty good yards after the catch there on that crossing route. Is a crossing route good for a quarterback because the receiver's coming across his line of vision?
They love those kind of throws. And how many times have you seen any of what we call an in-breaking route? Quarterback really turns it loose, doesn't he? Has a lot more confidence because he can see the play right in front of him.
Only a yard on the pickup there. 2nd and goal. They'll try to run this one in. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. Taking it in from 2 yards out. And the Cowboys have taken a 6-touchdown lead. Gano the extra point, and it is 42-0. So they only needed 3 plays on that drive. And it's culminated by a 2-yard touchdown run. Gano now following the touchdown here to kick it away. From the 6. And they'll get him down inside the 30 at the 27. Tyreek Hill making his way back out towards the huddle. Looking down at the stats here, realizing he has no catches. They've targeted him twice, but no catches. So how do they get him more involved, Charles?
You make sure he touches it on routes that he likes to run. Maybe even run a reverse or some type of a jet sweep so he gets his hands on the ball and get him active and involved in the game. You just try and find ways to get him going, and it doesn't have to be something that's big downfield.
Maybe kind of like in basketball, just a shooter seeing the ball go through, you get him a rep, get him more comfortable.
I agree with that totally. Maybe set that solid screen and give him an easy look.
Well, to this point, no catches. And that throw behind his man, he missed him, incomplete.
They have to like what they've done defensively here at the outset of this drive. They forced a couple of incomplete passes, bring up a 3rd and 10. Don't be surprised to bring a little pressure on this snap.
Gets around him. And this play going to be stopped in its tracks at the 32, and obviously well short of the first down. The Cowboys going to use their second timeout now as they stop it with 16 seconds to go in half number one. Here's Michael Pilardi now. He's been terrific so far. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. Oh, he takes it in, doesn't let it bounce. He takes it at the 2. A good kick that time, but also a pretty good 15-yard return. And there'll be time for maybe one final play before halftime. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. And with only 4 seconds on the clock, time likely for just one snap of the football. They'll throw now on the final play. This is caught by Hilton. And he'll get this up to the 34-yard line. There you have it. Halftime quickly over. Third quarter, here we go. Second half action, and this defense still pitching a shutout as we drop you back into the action. A first down throw for Bridgewater. Oh, it was hit at the line of scrimmage and intercepted. Picked off at the 21. And this drive will start on the edge of the red zone at the 20-yard line. And right about now, you start to think, and maybe they're starting to think, gosh, maybe. Second half action, and this defense still pitching a shutout as we drop you back into the action. Here's Gibson to start the drive. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up. These two teams, you might recall, met up back in September in week 3. And it was the visitors getting the win there, so they'll be looking for the sweep back here at home. From the 27, Bridgewater. That one caught by Tyreek Hill. And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Throwing is Bridgewater. Quick slant to Hill. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard. To throw again on 2nd down. Bridgewater. And he will go down. A Cowboys sack. They'll wind up losing 10 on the sack, and it'll lead to a 3rd and long. Out of the gun, Bridgewater. A hit as he throws there, incomplete. He's had trouble finding open receivers all game, CD, and that's because really there hasn't been many. This defense has been all over them.
Yeah, they're one of the better defenses in the league, and every time I talk to someone around the NFL, they all say the exact same thing. They're so fundamentally sound, it's hard to execute against them.
And that one hits a little too close to the goal line, and it continues into the end zone for a touchback. Dallas offense set for this next drive. Second half action, and this defense still pitching a shutout as we drop you back into the action.
Let's pick it up. It's our time, guys. Our time. Let's get off the field. Let's get off the field. 56, the mark, boy. 56.
Bridgewater now looking to throw on first. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete. After the incompletion, they'll try once more from the 20-yard line on 2nd and 10. Bridgewater now. It's a slant to Hill. 9 yards, not quite enough, and they'll be left now with 3rd and 1. Bridgewater to throw it. And tight coverage there. It's knocked away, incomplete.
But the passing windows are just not there, and that's just another example of how great this defense has been all game long.
And that's exactly what a top 10 defense can do. They can really change the game tempo and frustrate you as you try to execute offensively.
This is taken around the 12. And the danger of a punt that good, a 16-yard return. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Get a look at this offense led by Cooper Kupp as they make their way back onto the field. A monster. All right, this defense back out there with the lead and also with a shutout intact as they look to finish this off in the 4th quarter. Bridgewater on 1st down. Pressure comes and down he goes. Devin Bush, my goodness, make that now 5 sacks for him in this ball game. Really turning in an incredible performance.
Come on. Mike 56. Mike 56. So we got man. 56.
After the sack on 1st down, Bridgewater. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down. Bridgewater can't get away, and he's taken down. And now that brings up 4th down there, a loss of 6 yards on the sack.
And you could say that is just another cherry on top for this defense and that entire team. But really, this defense has sparked what's been an impressive effort here in this one.
And notice you used the word sparked, because you're not seeing that on the other side of the ball, are you? The offense right now, the spark has left their game, and it's been because of what you described, that defensive pressure.
And we are inside of 2 minutes left in this lopsided affair. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. We certainly had a sense coming in here that these guys were in for a tough one on the road. That has been how this ball game is played out. They trail big as we continue on now here in this 4th quarter. 1st down, Bridgewater. Oh, strip! The ball comes out, and the Cowboys have recovered.
As they say, this game hasn't exactly been one for the books. I mean,
So this one will end in a victory for the Dallas Cowboys. And I tell you what, Charles, this might be about as good as it gets. They were in